I'd been counting down the days all week for my brand new sneakers to arrive. These weren't just any ordinary shoes. They were the pair I'd been saving for, cutting back on little things just to afford them. Limited edition, clean lines, sharp details, the kind of sneakers that make people glance twice the moment you walk by. When delivery day finally rolled around, I was, of course, stuck at work like always. I didn't stress about it. Packages were usually left neatly on my porch, sometimes placed beside the chair, sometimes near the mat, but they were always there when I got home. All day long, I kept refreshing my phone, feeling like a kid waiting for Christmas morning. Then it happened, the notification popped up. Package delivered at your front door. A wave of relief washed over me. But later that evening, as I pulled into my driveway, something immediately felt wrong. My porch looked too spotless, too empty. I rushed up the steps, thinking maybe the box was hidden behind the chair, or pushed off to the side. Nothing. I checked every corner, looked in the bushes, and even peered over the fence. There was no sign of it anywhere. Welcome to Prodigy Tales. Don't forget to like and subscribe for your premium HOA drama. At first, I figured maybe the delivery driver had messed up. So I pulled up the confirmation email, and there it was, clear as day. A timestamp, and even a photo of my sneakers sitting proudly on my porch. They had been delivered. They had been right there. And now, they were gone. I felt my face heat up as the realization hit. Someone had stolen my package straight off my doorstep. My frustration quickly turned into anger as I called the delivery company, hoping they might at least help track it down. Instead, they confirmed exactly what I already knew. The package was delivered and left securely on my porch. Their driver had submitted photographic proof. That was the end of it. The company washed their hands of the situation, leaving me with nothing but a hollow apology and a polite sorry for the inconvenience. That's when it clicked. This wasn't some random porch pirate wandering through the neighborhood. This had to be someone close by, someone watching, someone who knew my schedule and knew exactly when I wouldn't be home. Before we go any further, drop a comment and let us know where you're watching from. After losing those sneakers, I tried to convince myself it was a one-time incident. Maybe someone passing through saw the box and gave in to temptation. But a few weeks later, my nephew's birthday was coming up, and I ordered him a set of toys he'd been asking for non-stop. Bright, colorful action figures. Nothing insanely expensive, but special enough that I wanted them to arrive on time. Delivery day felt like déjà vu. I was at work again, checking my phone during breaks, and then I saw the familiar message. Package delivered at your front door. A tight knot formed in my stomach, but I pushed the feeling away. Lightning doesn't strike twice. Or so I thought. When I got home, my porch was empty again. Not a shred of cardboard. Not even a loose piece of tape. My stomach sank. That was the moment I knew this wasn't random anymore. This was intentional. Someone was watching me, tracking my deliveries, and swooping in the moment the opportunity appeared. I paced back and forth in my living room, torn between disbelief and pure rage. This wasn't just about missing packages now. It was about principle. If I let this slide, what else would they feel entitled to take? My sense of security was already slipping through my fingers. 2 days later, decided I'd had enough. If anyone could help, it would be the HOA president, Karen. She was always bragging about keeping the neighborhood safe and orderly, constantly patrolling the streets and barking orders during meetings. Maybe, for once, her interference could actually be useful. I walked over to her house and knocked on the door. Karen answered, wearing that permanent scowl that made her look like she'd just smelled something foul. I explained everything, both missing packages, the delivery confirmations, the photos, and asked if the HOA could check cameras or at least send out a warning about theft. She nodded as if she cared, though her eyes kept drifting around like she had better things to do. Then, as if the universe was mocking me, her teenage son wandered into the living room in the middle of our conversation. My heart skipped. My jaw nearly hit the floor. On his feet, plain as day, were the exact same sneakers I had ordered for myself. The limited edition sneakers that never even made it inside my house sat in my mind like a bitter memory. My chest tightened, but I forced myself to stay calm. I couldn't just point fingers outright, not without solid proof. If I were wrong, I'd look foolish. But deep down, I knew. I was staring at the family of the thief. I couldn't storm into Karen's house and start accusing her. No, this had to be handled the right way. I went back to square one and did what I should have done from the very beginning. I installed cameras. Not the bulky, obvious kind, but tiny, nearly invisible ones. I ordered online. I tucked them under the trim, hid them near plants, and mounted them around my porch. From the street, they were invisible. With surveillance in place, I set the bait. This time, I ordered something small and inexpensive, a phone charger and a pair of headphones. Nothing flashy, nothing worth real money, but perfect for luring out whoever had been stealing my packages. The package arrived in the afternoon. Same routine as before. My phone buzzed at work, heart racing, as I opened the live feed. For a while, nothing happened. Then, just when I thought maybe the thief had given up, a familiar figure appeared. My jaw dropped. It wasn't her son. It wasn't some random neighbor. It was Karen herself, the HOA president. The woman who had stared me in the eyes while I complained about my missing packages was casually walking up my porch and taking my box, as it belonged to her. She tucked it under her arm, glanced around like a guilty raccoon, and strutted back to her house. I replayed the footage over and over, disbelief turning to fury. She wasn't covering for her kid. She was the thief the whole time, but anger was quickly joined by opportunity. If Karen wanted to play dirty, I'd go nuclear. I started planning. Instead of reporting her immediately, I decided to hit her where it hurt most, her pride. I ordered harmless but chaotic components, spring-loaded contraptions, glitter powder, a stink spray canister, and industrial dye. I spent an entire night in the garage, rigging them inside a cardboard box with the focus of a mad scientist. I sealed it carefully with tape and added weight so it felt authentic when picked up. This wasn't just revenge, it was art. The trap was set. I placed the package squarely on my porch and returned to work. Phone propped up, live feed running. Hours later, like clockwork, Karen appeared. She strutted across my lawn, scanning for witnesses, and bent down to snatch the box. I grinned. She had no idea what awaited her. The moment she opened it, chaos erupted. A spring-loaded mechanism shot off with a loud bang. Glitter exploded across her face, coating hair, skin, and clothes in a rainbow mess. Next came the stink spray, filling the air with a revolting odor like rotten eggs soaked in vinegar. Finally, the neon green dye splattered across her cheeks and hands. She staggered, shrieking and waving her arms, more cartoon villain than HOA president. I laughed so hard at my desk that I nearly fell out of my chair. I rushed home to witness the aftermath. Half the neighborhood had gathered, phones out, recording Karen as she screamed and hosed herself down. The glitter clung, the dye didn't budge, and the stink persisted. She looked like a walking, smelly disco ball. That night, I clipped the footage and sent it to the HOA board with a polite note. Here's your president keeping the neighborhood safe. By the next meeting, she was cornered. Every board member had seen the video, and there was no escaping it. She was forced to pay me double the value of every stolen package, and stripped permanently of her HOA presidency. Even weeks later, the dye hadn't fully washed off, leaving her glowing like a neon clown during the meeting, humiliated beyond repair. The end. Make sure to like and subscribe for more HOA showdowns like this. Do you think she got exactly what she deserved?